Hello, this is Faith Marie Ruiz, and
Hello, I'm Tina Padilla.
this is our fifth um, episode of Pension Advocacy Group, and we are going to be covering what candidates, CTPF candidates, we should um, vote for, and why these trustees need to win. We're going to be talking about how all the active teachers, if they haven't voted, to please vote because we need to protect our defined benefit pension plan. We're going to talk about legislations, and the hot topic is settling plan obligations.
And this refers to paying out all promised benefits immediately as one lump sum instead of a defined benefit that gives you a monthly guaranteed monthly payment as we know it. Okay. So, as we promised last episode, we were saying that we were going to send out, well, actually, we were waiting for the trustee forums. I was told by one of my, people that know what's going on, that there was going to be a CTU candidate forum. What happened? I don't know, which upset me a lot because the pension advocacy group in the past has had these forums. In fact, that's what we started pension advocacy group to educate our members on the people who you have to pick. These are your rights. These are the few little rights that we have to protect ourselves. We send people to represent us. And these two people, and I'll talk about why they broke away from the pack. I like Ms. or Vanessa Beasley Green because of her social science skill set. Um, Economics is a social science. And I know that she has a lot of experience with, based on her resume that I read, um, with statistics. Because if you have any social science skills, you have to deal with statistics. And as a trustee, you're going to have to be comfortable around statistical numbers, ratios, and also the language. The vocabulary goes back. Thomas Felsen, the reason I liked him was because of his tier two. That was it. He's a tier two member. Tier two teachers need representation. So that's why I chose him. Now, remember, the Pension Advocacy Group is an oversight committee, and part of our duties, services that we offer, and it's a free thing, it's a nonprofit. We're doing this because we're protecting our very own retirement savings. And I don't want to go down our mission statement today, but another day we will. We need to fill a team of 12 members. And currently, the membership, the three trustees is what we have to vote for, and two out of the 12. So that's five out of 12 new people. And we need a couple new people to complete a team. Just think of it. If you were to, and I know there's a lot of people that do this, they make up their own teams. Do you know about that? Are you into football at all, Faith?
No.
Fantasy, the fantasy teams for football,
Oh, making up. Yeah.
you make a team, and that's what we're doing here, guys. We're creating a good team that is going to represent us for 3 years. And I'm telling you, these two characters are people, humans, sorry. I don't know who they are. I like their resume, and I will be watching them to see if they are holding two very important concepts in their minds when they're serving us. And those two concepts are They have to be a fiduciary, and they also have to hold that they are the authority on the governance body. They hold the authority to make important decisions for our money that is there in perpetuity for us to retire. That's the intention of a defined benefit plan, and we are protecting it so it's there not only for our teachers that are just about to retire, but also for our future teachers, the tier two teachers, which we need Mr. Thomas there.
Mhm.
That's the active. Now, for the retirees, the only one I'm coming with as a selection again is Ava Hartson. Harson. I can't. Help
Harston.
me out. Okay, thanks. So the reason she broke out of the pack, and when I say pack, I mean there's how many retirees are running? There's about six of them. There, you get to pick three out of six. You can vote for one, you can vote for two, you can vote for all three. But you can only vote for one. You can only vote one time, and that one time that before you press submit, you could choose one, two, or three. My only choice is this one. You know, you pick whoever you want. If you're a retiree, both Faith and I are retirees, so and we're not going to share I'm just telling you who I think we need on the team. And this lady, I think I like all her experience with union, her high level political union experience. And she knows what went down in 1995. So she brings a history, a lot of political history with her. So this is my number one choice for the retirees. I'm not going to speak. I can speak volumes, but again, I want to stay positive. These are our people that we are promoting, and we're asking if you haven't voted,
Mhm.
active teachers, we have Ms. Green and Mr. Felkston
Mhm.
for the active. And for the retirees, we have Ava Harston. Okay. Now, as far as the legislation out there, this 1893 is not good for our fund. There
Nope.
is a problem with the retiree subsidy, which occur right now, it's 65 million. But this 65 million needs to be restructured. And
Mm.
I don't want to go down the weeds with all this because restructuring means we have to talk about restructuring like you would restructure your mortgage, basically. And that's another big conversation that we have to have with members. And hopefully we'll bring these conversations will come to the members. People are so busy out there. And if you and I aren't doing this close watching, who knows? This bill plus this next bill that I'm about to show you, um, that they want it. This is the We Are One coalition that's backing this 1937, which they say it improves the tier two, but the only fix for tier two pensioners is to repeal tier two. That is the right and just thing to do. And these laws, and we all know people that have to deal with laws and, they place laws to protect the innocent. Well, we all know that these laws sometimes are not just. This is not a just law. We need to repeal tier two. So when you read about this, the things that I'm getting, the emails I'm getting, they give you the highlights, these big bullet points. But you have to read the fine print. And
Mhm.
if you read the fine print, it provides that what I have bolded there, provides that a member who is eligible to receive an alternative retirement annuity. What does that mean? Does that mean that what they've been planning is you do this health care thing plus this thing, you're continually depleting our retirement savings plan that has to be there in perpetuity, and the function that runs our pension has to be managed correctly. And these things do not work for the defined benefit pension plan. These are intended to break it.
Mm-hmm. These
Um,
three, you mean these three bullet points that they have here?
Well, they're just advertising the bullet points that they think people will like, but the problem is even these things are not right. It's not just repeal tier two. The bad part is they don't advertise this alternative retirement annuity. What is that? Is that the 403B, 401k like plans? Is that what they're moving us into, teachers, into a 401 like plan, but it's not called 401 because 401s are for the private sector. 403Bs are for the public sector. Are they trying to move us into a hybrid plan where you have a lump sum? And we'll talk about that in a second. So this is my problem. I don't want to give too much information, and we don't want to make this podcast too long. So I don't like this language. That's big problem. And if you put those two bills together, nastiness. And then here is from the actuarial findings. They talk about the funding ratio, and the funding ratio is telling you how much money is needed to keep the pension running in perpetuity. Okay. And it also says that this funding ratio and the information that the actuaries are bringing to the trustees is not appropriate to assess the significance. Can you read this? Because I
Pensions
can't talk. I get too
assessing
excited.
um is assessing the sufficiency of plan assets to cover the estimated cost of settling the plan's benefit obligation.
Do you hear that? Do you understand what that means?
Do I understand it? Break it a little, break it down, just in case.
Okay, so here's some key terms that we just read. The funding ratio. Okay, this ratio is a for pensions for the defined benefit plan. And if when the ratio is 100%, this means you have enough assets to cover all your promises, all the pensions in perpetuity, meaning forever and ever and ever.
Okay.
And then the unfunded
Actually,
actuarial, okay, this represents the shortfall. So our unfunded liability, which we saw there, is just telling you what they owe us. That's what they owe us.
and it's
The
not
norm,
yet covered
they
by
have to pay us back. That's the amount they have to pay us back.
gotcha.
Um, these are the regular ongoing contributions needed to fund benefits earned by our employees. Normal cost is a um, term used in accounting that means it's the payments that you need to pay your employees, the cost of doing service. That's what it is. It's an expense. It's the cost of doing service. Teachers provide a service to the city of Chicago. The city of Chicago is in the state of Illinois. We are providing a service, they pay into our pension fund. The money, instead of going into that, just think of it as your employer contribution to your 401k, because that's what people understand. Okay. And then the settling plan obligation, and we already read that this is in there. These are words in that legislation. And these are words that the actuary is telling us. These numbers do not fit what the legislators are trying to do. They're trying to do something and they're using these numbers to do it. And that ain't right. Is that enough?
Is that our last
No, would you understand what's going on with these bills? They're working on. And this was I was going to say that was our third. This is next year we have to have a forum because I guess we can't rely on other people to have it for us.
mhm,
So we'll come back next year and we'll definitely invite the trustees. This year, there's so much going on, and I didn't want to ask the trustees to come back, and they have a lot of work to do at school. I just thought it was too much.
mhm.
And I was really disappointed that CTU did not have a candidate forum for our trustees. And that's all I have. Do you have any questions for me?
I don't have any questions. I think you pretty much covered everything, the candidates, why we want them, and reminding people if they haven't voted to vote.
Yep, these are our three candidates to put on in the pension fund. And there's two missing from the trustees. You can find more information. CTU has offered their choices. There's a group called RTAC. They also are supporting a group. So there's more information out there. Be informed voters. Don't just vote or just not vote. Please get out there and vote. We have to show that we are watching the people who are managing our money. And how do we show that? By getting out there and vote.
Ab-
Show Show everybody who you want to sit on that board and be responsible. We need people to hold accountable for what is going on that pension fund. And we have to protect it. And it's going to take all of us. We got to support the people that we vote to sit at that table and make the big decisions for us. We have to support them along with holding them accountable. And that's all I had to say for today's podcast. We'll come back next month, the month of November. We'll find out who the board is, and we'll come back with our first month reply or review, right,
Right.
of how the meeting went with our new trustees for November.
Okay, so signing off. I'm
Okay, Faith, I call you, I'm Faith, sorry.
It's okay. Faith Marie is my name, so it's
And
all
I always use your middle name.
good.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Harvest Day, as I.
Happy Harvest Day.
All right.